All right, Wayne Bettis here, the founder of the Off the Tools podcast. I just want to introduce you to our brand new sponsor, directplumbing.supplies.com. It is founded by a former tradesman who has set up his own plumbing and heating merchants. He has an online shop, which is obviously at directplumbing.supplies.com, and he delivers across the UK. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show. Welcome to another amazing session of the Trades Growth Summit. It's my pleasure to introduce Kieran Fitzgerald. Welcome to the show, Kieran. How are you doing?
Thanks, Wayne. Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you.
Excellent. It's a pleasure to have you. So just a little background. So you were in the army. If you could just, introduce yourself really, a little bit about your history and where you come from.
Yeah, so I spent 10 years in the army. I joined the 1st Battalion Irish Guards and also the 3rd Battalion Parachute Regiment. Served 10 years and I got to the rank of Lance Sergeant.
Wow, excellent. How old were you when you joined?
So I joined when I was 17, so pretty much straight after school, really.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. What prompted that decision then? Because at 17, that's a big decision.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I was at school, really. I left school. I went to college. I'd done paint and decorating at college. I worked at McDonald's after college, sort of thing. I worked, and then I went to work in one of my dad's training centres. He owns a couple of gas and electrical training centres, so I helped helped him build them. When I was 16, and then I just decided. I think one of my friends joined the army, and I was looking at him sort of in the army, and it's just sort of something that I decided that I wanted to do, really. So I sort of followed him in there.
Oh, fantastic! I bet. So you served for 10 years. Can you share any details of sort of where you went, what you got up to, and what sort of experience? I'm so envious of service people because it's, it must be some hell of a ride. There's good, obviously, but there's also bad. Just share a little bit of maybe sort of the journey it took to get to the rank that you got to.
So in 2009, I've done the Queen's birthday parade. So when I was in the Irish Guards, I'd done the Queen's birthday parade.
Wow.
That was quite a crazy experience, really. It was just constantly rehearsing for it for a good 2 months straight. You're just on sort of the parade square, just making sure that you're ready for that day. 2010, I deployed to Afghanistan on a 6-month tour. That was with the Parachute Regiment. So I'd done a course called P Company. And then I joined the Paras, and then done my first tour of Afghanistan with them. 2012, I'd done a six week deployment to Kenya. So we'd spent 6 weeks in Kenya. Come back from there. That was actually training for my second tour of Afghanistan. And then in 2013, I completed my second tour of Afghanistan. And then I've done other training exercises. Went to Oman, Cyprus. Belize. Sorry, I've done a jungle, done the jungle training in Belize. Wow. Had a pretty.
Two tours in Afghanistan, man. I'll take my hat off to you for that. That must have been some experience. Were they 6-month tours? Were they?
Yeah, both 6-month tours. Yeah.
Where was you based in? Helmand, was it?
Yeah. So the first tour in 2010 based in Nadi Ali, which is in Helmand province.
Yeah.
My second tour, it was a bit of a closed down tour, really. We were based in Camp Bastion, but we were like brigade operations company, so we were like sort of flying out to all the different outposts and closing them all down. But we were like patrolling the areas and stuff, just making sure that everyone was like secure, sort of thing. Yeah. Where they closed down the bases.
So being in the parachute regiment, then I'm guessing that excuse my novice, knowledge of the armed forces, but is that like a what's the word I'm looking for? An infantry type, like on the ground, getting stuck in type role.
Yeah, parachute regiment is like the elite of the infantry, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, fantastic. So moving the conversation on. Obviously, you're not in the forces now. So what was the transition period like for you? Like, what did you just wake up one day and knew that you'd had enough and it was time to move on, or was it something that took a longer time to sort of detach from?
Yeah, I think I was thinking about it for a good couple of years, and I was sort of like looking, what I could do when I left the army, sort of thing. So yeah, it was a good, it wasn't just an easy, quick decision. Yeah, it took a while to sort of get my ideas together and sort of think what I wanted to do.
And then obviously you obviously took the decision to go into plumbing and heating. Is it a matter of that you leave the army one day and then the next day you sign up at college, or is there like a process to the sort of civilian life, so to speak?
Yeah, there was a bit of a process. I mean, like before I joined the army, I was already doing a bit of plumbing. Like I was helping build. My dad's got a couple of plumbing and gas and electrical training centres. So I was sort of talking with him and asking him about his courses, so to speak. And then, so from signing off from the army, to be fair, they were pretty good. They did give me quite a lot of time off to sort of go and do my training. You have a year period from where you actually sign off from leaving the army to sort of go and to prepare you basically for civilian life. So whatever courses that you need to do, they'll let you go off and do your training just to make sure that you are good to go.
That's fantastic. So there's a nice little window of sort of getting back into a sort of a bit more of a normal life, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you miss? Do you miss the forces?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, probably not the job as much. It's probably more just being with the lads and the banter and stuff like that. Like, you don't really get that when you're sort of self-employed. You're working on your own sort of thing. So that's been a bit of a change really that I've had to adjust to. Yeah.
So obviously it's a very physical, you've come from a very physical job. Are you maintaining your fitness and stuff since you've left the army?
Yeah, I try to as much as I can, but you know yourself in this trade, you are busy, aren't you? So it can be a bit more difficult, but yeah, I do try to. I'm actually running the Manchester Marathon in about 2 weeks.
Wow. And that's trying. You're trying, and you're running a marathon. I think you're more than trying to keep in shape then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't feel as prepared for it as I probably should, to be honest, but I'm just going to go for it anyway.
Yeah, why not? Why not, man? It's one of my lifetime goals is to be able to run a marathon. The longest I've done is 13 miles. That's as far as I've got so far, but it's definitely on my hit list. So you've mentioned, did you say it's your dad that runs a couple of training centers? So is that where you reskilled and retrained?
Yeah, that's where I reskilled. He's actually got 4 now. He's got 2 down in London, 1 in Manchester and 1 in Birmingham. So I've done my training in his Birmingham centre.
What are they called, if you don't mind me asking? We'll give him a little plug.
Option Skills.
Option Skills, cool. And so he sounds like he's got them all over the place then. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, up and down the country. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. And then did you do like day release? Was you working with somebody at the same time as training?
Yeah. So I done like an 8-week intensive course,
okay.
and then when I finished that, I was just like doing portfolio building, working with a gas safe engineer out on site, just building my portfolio really. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. And then did you work for a firm, or did you go straight into self-employment once you was qualified?
Yeah, I worked for a firm. So I left the army, got qualified, and then you know, obviously I got qualified before I left, which was good. So I was still getting paid by the army as I was doing training, which you know, it's, you don't always get that, do you? It's quite hard to you know. So I felt like I was in a lucky position really. So then I got qualified, left the army, and then yeah, I pretty much got a job working for a firm straight away. That was down in Birmingham, and then I moved up to Manchester with my now ex-partner. Well, we moved up to Blackburn, and then my dad was building his training centre in Manchester. So when I moved up to Blackburn, I sort of helped my dad build his training centre there, sort of, you know, fitting all boilers, and that's sort of where I learned a lot. I had to, you know, pipe work and things like that.
Ah, excellent. So was your dad from the industry, or does he just do training? Like, was he a trained plumbing and heating engineer as well?
No, he works with someone who was trained in plumbing, but
Okay.
my dad's more like the sales side of things.
Ah, okay, interesting. Yeah. So how have you? So you went self-employed. How long have you been running your own ship?
3 years now. Coming up to 3 years. Well, yeah, just over 3 years now. Yeah.
What sort of work do you do? Are you commercial, domestic?
Just domestic at the moment. Yeah. I do everything. Really, I've just recently just started taking on like bathrooms and stuff like that. But I think I prefer like working on boilers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it just you in the business, or are you starting to build a team?
I'm starting to build a bit of a team now. I've got an apprentice with me, and I've got like a lad who I've just took on as sort of a subcontractor. So I've just seen how it goes with him sort of over the next, because I know we've got the winter period coming up, and that tends to be our busiest time, doesn't it? So I'm just going to sort of, yeah.
100%. I feel it's going to be a cold one this year. I think we're going to, for the plumbing and heating industry specifically, is going to be a manic few months coming ahead, isn't it?
Hopefully.
When's your marathon then?
Next 10th of October.
So, so pretty weeks. Soon then.
2 weeks, yeah.
Ah, that explains your nice little holiday then that you're on, getting a bit of rest before the storm comes.
That's what it is, yeah. I'm just going to do a bit of training this week and then get myself prepared for it.
So obviously with 10 years in the military and then obviously going out on your own, is there any standout sort of lessons that you've learned from the military and brought into civilian life? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I'd say customer service, really. Customer service, because when I was in the guards, you're dealing with the general public when you're standing outside, you know, Buckingham Palace, St. James's Palace down in London. You're having to sort of, you know, connect with the tourists and things like that. So you are talking to people quite a lot. So I think I've took that from the military into sort of running my own business. Yeah, customer service skills. Yeah.
Ah, so that's what the Irish Guards is. Are the people that stand like? Are they on the horses as well then?
No, that's household cavalry.
Right, yeah. So, sorry if I'm offending anyone by misrepresenting.
It's the same sort of like circle. Yeah.
Okay. So that was a bit of a jump then. Sorry to go backwards to the military here, but to go from that to then going to the parachute regiment, it's like that seems like two opposite ends of the spectrum to me.
Yeah. So 1 minute I'm standing outside Buckingham Palace, next minute I'm jumping out of planes. So. Yeah, a bit of a difference.
Do you still do any jumping, like things like that?
No, not really, to be honest. No. I don't really have time anymore because I've got a little girl as well. So I'm trying to run a business and I've got a little girl, so I don't really have time to go and do any of that adventurous stuff at the minute.
Yeah, well, you want to try and carve out some time, you know, it's important to do some relaxing as well. But
yeah, well, that's what this week's all about. That's why I've got the paddleboard there. I'm going to be trying to do some paddleboarding this week.
Excellent. I've never had a go at paddleboarding. It's something I want to try, definitely. I probably wouldn't last 5 minutes standing up, but so with your business then, is there any sort of struggles that you had when you was going out on your own? Anything that comes to mind where you sort of hit a few roadblocks?
Yeah, I felt like all the time, to be honest with you, because I was sort of, even though I'd had experience. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting a phone call here.
That's okay. We'll just there you go. You're back.
I'm back on now. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so obviously I had a bit of experience working with a company, and I didn't just jump straight into being self-employed. I got my own van, and I was going out and I was doing sort of small jobs here and there after work and on weekends and things like that. But yeah, I think it's all just sort of experience, isn't it? When you go on your own, you're completely on your own, aren't you? And you haven't got like that extra pair of eyes sort of next to you, so you sort of just like sort of learning on the job, really.
And I suppose you touched on it earlier about sort of missing that sort of group of people around you. I bet that's intensified, since you've been on your own, because it can be a lonely place, can't it, when you're running your own business?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's sort of being with a group of people, so on your own, and you got to think completely on your own. And yeah, it's been a bit of a shock. It was a shock to the system at first. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I can imagine because again, like I say, I've not been in the army, but I'm guessing literally for them 10 years, you're literally just surrounded with people every day, day and night, pretty much. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I missed it when I gave up football. So let alone, missing that dressing room. So let alone what it's like for someone where you lived and breathed it for 10 years. It's crazy. Yeah. So with your business going forward, what's the aspirations? Like where is it that you want to go?
I think I'd rather just like, I've sort of seen what you do as well, to be honest. Like, you specialise in boiler installations. I think I'd rather specialise in something rather than trying to sort of do everything. You know what I mean? Like, do everything and then you're struggling and you don't know how long things are going to take. I think just specialise in something, and sort of I do want a team. I do want like a few. I want the business to be able to run itself one day, rather than sort of like now, for example, I'm down in Newquay. I'm not really earning any money because I've not got anyone working up there at the moment. Yeah. So it's just like I'd like to get to a stage where I can just sort of let the business sort of run itself.
Yeah. That's I think for a lot of people, no matter what industry you're in, that's really like a big target for most people, isn't it? Is to try and find that way of getting to the point where it isn't solely relying on you as the individual having to physically do something to generate that money. Yeah. I think you hit the nail. You hit a good point there where you said about specializing, and I've had this discussion with lots of people, and some people agree with me. Like, I specialize in one area of it, which is new boilers. But then I speak to other people that are having huge success by being a general plumber and heating engineer. For me personally, I believe in specialization. I believe that, focus your attention on that individual thing that you want to do. Yeah. You're never going to get a 100% of just one type of work, but if you clearly want it, you've got to go out and try it, haven't you? So what area of plumbing and heating would be the focus for you?
Boilers, boiler installations. I think just boilers in general. I enjoy repairing boilers and servicing boilers, and just boilers in general, I would say.
Yeah. The boiler market, I think, even going forward, I know we're getting all this talk about hydrogen and renewables and stuff, but I still believe that for the next 20 odd years, the supply for the need of new boilers is just going to keep going up and up and up, because the modern stuff doesn't last half as long as the old stuff does. Just that's just one thing, isn't it? Like we've changed boilers that are 10, 12 years old, whereas 20 years ago that was unheard of. Boilers will last 20, 30 years without blinking.
There's more components to them now, isn't there? There's a lot more that can go wrong in them.
So being that you've got a good connection to a training provider, what are you taking any steps to upskill into some new technologies, or are you quite content where you are right now?
Yeah, I think renewables is something on the agenda in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I was having this discussion on another one of these calls recently, and that I think the conclusion was that it's still just so unknown, isn't it? What's going to be the one that really accelerates and fitted to the masses? And I've been sitting on the fence for a couple of years on, which way do I go? Do I look at air source? Do I look at heat pumps? Do I look at hydrogen fuel cells? And so far, I have literally just been stuck on that fence. I haven't made a decision on where to focus some attention, but I suppose time is ticking, and something's gonna have to give soon. And I suppose you're in a prime spot to get training once that's ready.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, just got to adjust my seat. Sorry, my mic's moved. Can you just bear with me 2 seconds?
Yeah, no worries.
All right, I'm back. Where was I going? Where was we going? I've lost my train of thought now. I had to just readjust. Let's roll it back a little bit, right? So obviously the 10 years that you spent in the military, how long have you been out, did you say?
I've been out 5 years now.
Oh, right. Okay. So nearly halfway through the rejigging. Is there any, this is a bit of a random question, but it always fascinates me when I speak to military people, is there any daily routines that you still do from the army, like making your bed, shining your shoes, all of these sort of stereotypical things that us laymen's hear about?
Yeah, to be honest, not really. No, not really. I feel, I feel full civilian now, to be honest, that I've been out so long.
Yeah. Would you ever go back?
I thought about it. I thought about it, but no, I probably wouldn't. No.
Type moved on, and
I've moved on now. Yeah. If I did, I'd feel like I was taking a step back in life. So yeah. I'm quite happy with doing what I do like now. It can be stressful, as you know yourself. It can be really stressful, but it's quite a rewarding job, isn't it?
Yeah, on the stress thing, it's funny because I read some about mentality and stress and everything, and they reckon that it doesn't really matter what the stress is. Obviously, like the being in the armed forces, the stress levels at certain times must have been, quite extreme. But they reckon that the body reacts similar, no matter the level of what that stress is. Obviously, being somewhere like Afghanistan, I can only imagine, is very stressful. But do you find that? Do you find that you're equipped to cope a little bit, sort of, you're a bit more resilient to it because of the past?
Yeah, I think so. I think at first I didn't, because, as I say, I was on my own sort of thing, and I'd never really been on my own and had to sort of cope with stuff on my own sort of thing. But I think as I've gone on, I've definitely built up more a resilience with it.
Yeah, cool. So, do you keep in touch with any of your old pals from the forces?
Yeah, keep in touch with quite a few of them, to be honest. Yeah.
That must be nice, because I suppose it's something that not many people have in common. So it must be like quite comforting when you're back around or in contact with them people that sort of know what it's like to be through.
Yeah, I think it's quite important that you need to sort of stay in touch with them and meet up and go for a drink on the weekend together and stuff like that. Every once in a while. I couldn't do it like every weekend like I used to be able to anymore. But it's good to do it every few months anyway. Yeah,
no, I bet. So you mentioned that boilers is going to be the area that you want to focus on. Are you doing anything specifically right now to work on that, or is it just a matter of you've got loads of work, so it's just mustering down?
At the moment, I've been really busy with bathrooms, and that's sort of made me think more. I'd rather just be doing boilers. Like, I'm not really sort of enjoying the bathroom work. It's just very time consuming. you know, and it can be quite costly if you know, you make a mistake in bathrooms, like something goes wrong, that a lot more can go wrong, sort of thing, than what they can with boilers, I suppose. But not that anything's gone wrong, but it's just sort of the stress of just trying to make sure everything's right. You know, I'm probably a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to things, so I take my time, but that's where the time consumption sort of comes into it.
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm going to put my coach's hat on now. I can't help myself. You know, it's just what I do. You know, the if boilers is what you want to do, you know, and whether whoever is watching this right now, you know, if there's an area in your business, if you're a chippy and you want to focus on loft conversions, and if you're a sparky, you want to focus on consumer units, whatever it might be, you know, the best thing I ever did was change the branding to suit what I wanted. Yeah. So my business is called yournewboiler.com. Right. So what do you think I attract?
Customers that want new boilers.
Exactly. So what's your company name called right now, Kieran?
Fitz Plumbing and Heating Services.
Yeah. So that is what most people do, isn't it? You know, they have plumbing and heating, or plumbing, heating and gas, but then they always say that they want a certain type of work. So my advice here for you, just on a personal note here, would be you don't necessarily have to change your company name, but have a look at, well, you know, anyone that's on the Trades Growth Summit, that, you know, we've got so many marketing experts that are going to go through this a lot better than I am. But, you know, start thinking about the work that you want and design any outward marketing that you're doing to attract new customers to suit that. Because the minute you put plumbing and heating in to any of it, you're going to get calls for everything. Yeah. It's just the nature, isn't it? If you're looking for someone to come and fix a tap, you're going to look for a plumbing and heating engineer or a plumbing and heating company. If you're looking to have a light switch change, you're going to look for a general electrician. So I would really say, like, you don't necessarily have to change the name, but focus some adverts or some content on social media on the specific area of work that you want. And you'll be amazed at the increase in that work that just starts to come, because what you put out there, you know, you start to get reciprocate come back. Sorry, I just had to dive in a little bit on that just while the conversation was there.
No, that's all right. Any advice is much appreciated.
Yeah, and that's this. You know, Off the Tools was created for that, you know, to give people in the industry support and things, and the Trades Growth Summit, which is what we're on right now, you know, is sort of like accelerates that on steroids. You know, we've got so many different people and different walks of life on this. So if you are sitting here watching this, obviously everything we're doing over the next 3 days is to raise money for Help for Heroes. And Kieran's been kind enough to come on, you know, and share his journey from being, you know, in the Irish Guards to the parachute regiment, and then how he sort of transitioned into the tradesman that he is now. Is there any sort of advice or guidance you would give to someone that is sort of thinking about it, maybe entering the trade or already in and looking to take the next steps up the ladder?
I think just having the right contacts, or just getting in with people who are, you know, already in the trade. I would say that's helped me quite a bit. Just knowing people, like having friends that have sort of transitioned from the military into being a plumbing and heating engineer. Yeah, just do your research. I would definitely say.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that. You know, your network, the people that you spend time with and communicate with and socialize with, play a huge part, don't they? Because, you know, it can only take someone that you know to open that door to give you the next opportunity. And I think there's a saying, isn't it? Your network is your net worth. You know,
yeah.
And I'm a big believer in surrounding yourself with the right type of people. Yeah, you know, you want to be surrounded by people that are on similar missions to you, know, that are trying to achieve similar things, if not already achieved it. And that's a very, very powerful insightful thing there that you've identified. I think we're pretty much at the end of this trade spotlight that's on the Trades Growth Summit. Thank you so much, Kieran, for taking the time out of, he's on holiday, so that's dedication for you. You know, he could be out surfing or paddle boarding, but he's here sitting with me, helping us raise money for Help for Heroes, which obviously, as you all know that are watching, is such a valuable charity and gives so much support to the men and women that have given so much to us. So thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, cheers, Wayne. Thanks a lot. Good to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
I really hope you enjoyed the show. I just wanted to pull it out there for anyone listening that I offer business coaching, but also life coaching. My life is centered around something called the 3 Bs, which stands for body, business, and balance. When you work with me as a coach, we tackle all 3 aspects of life. So you as an individual, body, mindset, health, fitness, knowledge, education. Business B obviously stands for your business, improving, maximizing opportunities, elevating, making more money. And balance stands for your friends, family, loved ones, you know, making time for everything in your life. And the 3 Bs is the core element to that. If you'd like to learn more, I would ask you to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you might be consuming my information. Or you can email me directly at wayne@offthetools.co.uk. I'm here waiting to assist you to elevate across all aspects of life. Have a good one. No excuses. Let's go.